Hello everyone, welcome back to our weekly market analysis video with me, Frankie, your market analyst at Markets For You. In today's video, we'll be looking at the key economic events and data releases from September 22nd to September 26th, 2025. I've already set up my screen to display the economic calendar from the traders room at Markets For You. I've set the dates from September 22nd to September 26th, covering this week's important events in GMT. Please remember to adjust to your respective time zones. Let's dive into this week's events. Monday starts with Canadian PPI data and Australian PMI figures. Tuesday brings a busy day with German manufacturing PMI, UK PMI data including services and manufacturing, US PMI figures, Richmond Fed Manufacturing Index, and Fed Chair Powell's speech. Wednesday features Japanese PMI data, Australian monthly CPI indicator, German Ifo Business Climate, and US new home sales figures. Thursday includes German consumer confidence, the Swiss National Bank interest rate decision, US durable goods orders, GDP final reading, initial jobless claims, and existing home sales data. Friday concludes with crucial US personal income, Core PCE Price Index, the Fed's preferred inflation gauge, personal spending, and Canadian GDP figures. This week's key market-moving events will be Fed Chair Powell's speech on Tuesday and the US Core PCE Price Index on Friday. The Swiss National Bank decision on Thursday will also be important for Swiss franc pairs. Now, let's go to the technical analysis. This week, we'll focus on the US dollar against the Canadian dollar and the euro against the US dollar, as both instruments face significant data releases in the coming days. Let's start with the US dollar against the Canadian dollar. Looking at the daily chart, the dollar-Canadian dollar pair is currently trading around 1.3780 in a consolidation pattern and now moving around the 20-day moving average. The pair faces Canadian PPI data on Monday and GDP figures on Friday, which could provide direction for the currency. Looking at important levels, the US dollar against the Canadian dollar has support at 1.3701 and 1.3600, while resistance can be found at 1.3869 and 1.3976. The price is currently consolidating around the 20-day moving average, the white line, which could act as either support or resistance depending on the breakout direction. The stochastic oscillator is moving higher, trying to exit the oversold area, suggesting potential for upward momentum if the consolidation breaks to the upside. Friday's Canadian GDP data will be particularly important to watch, as any weakness could drive the pair toward the higher resistance levels. Now, let's turn to the euro against the US dollar. On the daily chart, the euro-dollar pair is currently trading around 1.1744, with the price now pulling back from recent highs and moving around the 20-day moving average. The pair faces multiple data releases this week, including German PMI figures, Ifo Business Climate, and the crucial US Core PCE data on Friday. Looking at key levels, the euro against the US dollar has support at 1.1633 and 1.1547, while resistance stands at 1.1828 and 1.1921. The price is currently moving around the 20-day moving average, the white line, which could act as either support or resistance depending on the direction of the next move. The stochastic oscillator is moving lower from overbought territory, suggesting potential for continued pullback or consolidation before the next directional move. The 1.1633 support level will be crucial to monitor during this week's events, particularly around Friday's US PCE data release, as the pair tests whether it can maintain its recent bullish momentum or if further correction is needed. Both instruments could see considerable volatility this week. Traders should be particularly cautious during Tuesday's Fed Chair Powell speech and Friday's US PCE inflation figures, as these events can cause sudden spikes in volatility and potential gap risks. Remember, always manage your risk carefully and never invest more than you can afford to lose. That's it for this week's analysis. See you in the next video.